We haven't seen Mouse in a while, and that's because when I was installing the water outlet, the bolt stripped out a little bit in the head. So we're going to try to fix that righty-loosey issue today on Seal Beam Rally Team. Obviously the truck is still drivable, but without a full cooling system, I don't want to get it warm. This is the bolt that came out of the water outlet, so I'm going to bring this into Napa and get a thread repair kit on the way, just in case I need it, a helicoil basically. Then I'm going to go to the post office because one of my great subscribers actually sent me some stuff for the Corvair. I was lucky I got a backup plan in stock at one of the auto parts stores in town, but I don't want to do that. I have a plan in place, and you may not believe that, but I'm going to do the order of operations here with the least invasive to the most invasive. We'll see which one does it. To take off the water outlet, we have to take off the upper radiator hose, both heater hoses, and then a hard line to the carburetor. So I have done this a few times now, unfortunately, but it is a lot to deal with. So just be patient if you're in there. There are 2 bolts in there, and we'll get it out. Alright, I was able to push the hard line to the side, and I think we're about ready to pull this thing off. The heater hoses should push to the side as well. There's our bolt. Yeah, the thread is actually messed up on that. Weird. Oh, that wasn't too bad. I got a kit of thread chasers a while back, so these have come in really handy with the Corvair too, but I'm going to throw that through, and this does not cut the threads, it just kind of reforms and brings the threads back up to where they should be. We'll see if that will make the head okay. That one went in great because that was the intact bolt that I didn't have issues with. I just wanted to make sure that it was going well. Now I know that the light up above here is an under hood light that has some flickering going on with the frame rate, so I don't feel like I have time to research that. If someone has a quick fix for that, let me know. Alright, I think this thing's going in now. I did put the water outlet back on so I can see in that hole there and kind of aim the thread chaser. And I was able to kind of hold it up to the side and start it, and that was enough to get it back in the threads, and it's looking straight now. So I think we're doing better. Let me back this thing out and see how far we are. Hoping I can take the water outlet back out now and put this thing in without any help. So if we go in like that, that thread's in now, right? Okay. Please pardon the creaking from my stool. Yep, I can feel it. Awesome. But you can see there was a little bit of debris in that, as is to be expected for a 60-year-old vehicle, 61-year-old vehicle. Okay, so that goes like that, but it doesn't sit in. It just kind of flops around, so we need to install this in the housing first. I got the bolts cleaned up, and I think the zinc is off the heads, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I can put some rust preventer on that afterward. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have the right gasket for this, and I don't want to remember how hard it was to find it on Labor Day weekend. So we are going to try the Right Stuff 1-minute gasket maker and see if that works. You can use it on anything but gasoline. So I should work on this. See if I can pull this plug out of the end. Jeez. It's like cheese and a pizza. That's nuts. Okay. The thermostat goes in here and it kind of sits in there, so I need something to hold it in. I'm going to throw just a little bit of Right Stuff around this, and that'll do Right Stuff around the entire thermostat housing, and that should give me enough to work with here. Okay, I think that's going to work. Maybe a little bit too much. We'll see. Okay, we got 5 minutes to put this thing in, so I hope I'm not taking too much time. This is the one we had trouble with. We'll see how it goes. Yes. A little bit more thread engagement this time. So I'm going to do 23 now, which is the minimum torque spec. Awesome. And awesome. We can put some coolant in this thing and see how it works. Everything's kind of together now, so I'm going to fill it up and see if it'll keep the coolant inside the engine. Leaking from the bolt that we just worked on. So hopefully it is just the right stuff that I used there. Guess I have to pull it off and put a gasket in. I figured the flanges on the thermostat housing water outlet were a little bit narrow to be putting RTV on. Took approximately 2 weeks to clean up this, clean up the thermostat here, and clean up the outlet because of all the RTV, and it wasn't quite set yet and it was super gross. But I got it done and I got a new gasket made. I had to actually run to the store because I lost my old gasket roll. I'll come back to you guys when it's on, and I hope it works well. Now it's gone really badly. I was torquing this thing down and it was going okay, but it turns out the thermostat wasn't quite set correctly in here, and the water outlet cracked. So that's a huge issue. What broke this, of course, is that the thermostat was not it. The thermostat was here when I put it in, but when I lowered it down into the engine bay and tried to shove it up there and start the bolts, the thermostat had kind of fallen out the side. It went down here and then the whole thing torqued itself out. That's pretty bad. But instead of ending the video here, I want to give you guys something extra and go the extra mile to try to make it work as much as I can. So first of all, I want to complain about Ford's engineering, because what you have to do is put the thermostat in the recess here, and then you have to put a gasket over that, and then you have to hold everything together with the bolt in it and everything down to put it down in the engine bay, and it really doesn't work that well. It kind of sucks. So I'm considering getting a used one if I can. I don't think it's going to be very easy, because this is a special 262 medium duty heavy duty truck part. It's not a 223 carryover item, and it might take a little looking to find one. Instead of that, I'm going to try to fix this one as it is. The thing that I think I might be able to do is JB weld, and the pro of that, the good part is that this is a cast piece and it has a lot of texture in there, so that the epoxy would have a good opportunity to adhere to that nice texture. The bad part is that this actually only has 2 bolts that hold it on, so this ear actually takes a lot of leverage, and it has a tendency to kind of pull in and pull itself off already. So let's go throw some JB weld on there and see if I can clamp this thing well enough to get it flat. And at that point, if I can get that to work, I might be able to use it as it is. I hit it with acetone, which I think is about as good as I can do right now. So I'm going to mix up some JB weld here, and we'll see how it does. Now the brake is, it wasn't a clean brake, you know, there wasn't a fracture line. It's a pretty craggy piece, so I'm hoping that it'll have enough texture to go back together the way I want it to. Pull that together, and I think now we wait. While we wait for JB weld to cure, I have about an hour left till I want to go inside, so let's take a look at this hanger bearing. I've had this thing sitting around for almost a year now, I think, waiting for other stuff to get done. So I was actually astonished this thing was in stock at Napa, so I hope it works. It does look like the right one, and my part number is on the screen for you. Alright, let's light this sucker up. Oh yeah. Nice. Might I be so lucky twice? Let's find out. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't gonna last long. I'm not sure if my puller will go that deep, but we can try. Puller's way too short. Let's see if this will do anything. Probably not. Great. Oh geez, I can't even hold it on. Well, let's at least see if the new one will fit. I don't know. Well, it was so dang hot yesterday, I didn't even come out, so this thing's been curing for probably like 36 hours now. Unfortunately, it's also going to be dang hot today, but let's pull the clamps off this thing and see if it will bolt on the truck and not break. A little bit on the bag here. Some stuff to clean up in there. Overall, looks like it's set up pretty straight. It might work if I get really lucky. There were some people who were saying they've JB welded things before, like a timing cover, and the chemicals that came in contact with the JB weld weakened the JB weld over time and caused it to fail eventually. So I may be back to get this re-welded, or may try to find a replacement off a parts vehicle. But for now, I'm gonna see if this thing will make the truck drive. Looks pretty good to me. It's getting down there. We have a little bit of stuff in here that is just kind of pitted, but that may just be the original casting. You never know. That's kind of why I use this gasket sealant on my gaskets. So I'm going to go clean these things up, and that should be about it. Back on the engine here, I think this is the time. I've got this stuck in there with a little bit of right stuff, that 1 minute right stuff. I'm going to slide that on. This right bolt is a blind hole, and the left bolt is a through hole. So for the right one, I'm putting Loctite on it. Well, that's a little bit too much. Perfect, right? And then on the left one, I'm doing PTFE. Thermostat's laying flat and the housing's laying flat. Both good signs. I got it at 15 foot-pounds. I want to do it really carefully here. There's that one, and here's the one that the ear broke on. Yep, immediately broke. That's disappointing. That's it for Mouse today. I'm going to send the thermostat housing to my welder, see if he can fix it. If he can't fix it, I'll have to buy a new one. If you have one laying around, please let me know. sealedbeamrally.team at Gmail, and I would love to have a spare. Otherwise, another thing on my website is the new stickers. We have little stickers, little square stickers for 2 for $5 right now, and then the bumper stickers for $5. It's got the cool kind of Seal Beam logo that I made, the retro one. I don't know if the price is going to change. We don't have a PayPal thing set up yet, but I can do PayPal through the email if you let me know that you want one. Anyway, thank you for watching. We have a busy weekend coming up here. I'm going with my friend Gavin from Red Hen Racing out to the Press on Regardless Rally in Michigan. That's going to be Friday, Saturday this week. So going to try to get this one out for you. We're going to do a little video on that one, and we'll probably do one on each of our channels. But take a look out for that. Appreciate you watching. Press on.